Hello again, everybody. It is the coach.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 59 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And got his man complete.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
And now out comes Houston. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Running game working, and they'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw on 2nd down. 5. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 3rd down.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Off play action. Fry. He's going to go for a big play down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
Here's Gallman. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Looking to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
319.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Fry. He finds his target, Fuller. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calais Campbell on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play. They're holding to no gain.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now Lewis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun. Fry. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how. And in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and second change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Fly. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Looking to throw. Fry. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Corey Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now Jones. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there, a 22.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to Buffalo after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fly. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he gets it down to the 32. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back to throw. Fly. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fry sets up the screen to Lewis. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
From the gun, Fry. And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Now Jones. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right, throw it out the Allen hit. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's looked pretty good. It does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down. Fry. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing again. Fry. This will be caught by Brown. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Operating from the gun. Fry. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Bills. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Bird. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a 1st down here.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They're going to look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. First throw now for the backup, Allen. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Jones. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you and maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around. But the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Fry. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And now out come the Bills. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. From the gun, Fry. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Operating from the gun. Fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fry. Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Gallman will run it. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 48. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long, he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And now out comes Houston. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, try to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Again, it's Lewis. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
On first down, Fry over the middle here to Brown. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Set. 319. 319.
From the gun, Fry. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A very solid gain of 27.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. He'll get it up the middle, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Fry. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. The Bills on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw now on first down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed,
Personal
here come
foul.
the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Bills on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. From the gun on third down. Fly. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They try again with Lewis, and he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Set. 3-19.
From the gun, Fry. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A tackle that time by Akala Witherspoon.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Green 39.
Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're...
You